Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, guess what? You here, subscribe. Okay, thank you. Now, for those of you who have went on over there to the Snapchat streets and followed me, go ahead and continue because I am on a Snapchat journey and I'm liking it, been learning some very, very good information. So I'm going to be snapping it and spotlighting it over there on the Snapchat streets. Now, if y'all on Snapchat, y'all know what I mean when I say, snapping it and spotlighting it. Okay, that's just the terminology over there. So make sure you guys are over there. Follow me at Lakeysha Keysha. Okay, so now let's get into this video. So Dr. Damon has been speaking out, and it seems like he has picked a side. Now, when I say he has picked a side, I mean between King and Dr. G. And it seems like that is exactly what he has done. And we're going to get into that really, really quickly. Now, if you guys have been following the show, you already know that there was a situation that erupted between the two in which they had to be separated. They had to be separated. Dr. G kind of felt like the men were taking King's side, and I kind of see where he's coming from. So we have a clip in which Dr. Damon is really riding for King, which is kind of crazy considering you just met King. And also, Dr. G is someone that he's actually doing business with. If you guys follow the show, you know there was a situation where Dr. Damon was upset because he felt like Dr. G was not taking the patients that he was referring. And essentially, Dr. G said, no, it was just that he was busy. Well, here's my deal. If you are trying to work on your relationship with someone to continue to develop the relationship, why would you come out publicly and say that you support something that really you could have just be quiet? And in all honesty, I don't understand how there is so much support for King unless it was something that we just didn't see, because even if he didn't like what Dr. G said, he a grown ass man. He can say what he want to say, but you can't try to put your hands on somebody. You can't even run after a person. So in all honesty, Dr. G can say what the hell he want to say, whether you like it or not. I mean, Quad sat there and ran her mouth the entire time. So what I want to do is I want to get into this snippet. Yeah, let's get into it.
You got a big mouth. I just said
Any order possibility?
There's been a formal complaint
You only get a
filed.
restraining order if there was a physical touch, right?
So let me kind of give some dialogue behind this. They are learning that there was a complaint or a report filed with regards to what took place between Dr. G and King. And what they're saying is there was no physical touch. Well, if you know somebody is trying to get to you, they're not trying to get to you to hug you. So if that is what he wanted to do to protect himself, because, hey, he may want to file a complaint because, if it's a situation where this person actually gets to me, I want to have it on paper that I at least filed a complaint. So I'm totally with him on filing a complaint. I mean, do somebody need to hit you upside your head for you to know that they was trying to hit you upside your head?
Oh, Greg said that there's a such thing as attempted assault. This sounds crazy as hell.
Come on, Greg. Let me just give you a little, street 101. That's not what you do.
This is a bitch move, and I don't like it.
Okay, so street 101. Okay, one thing we've learned about Dr. G is he ain't from the street. So giving him street 101 would apply to a street dude. He's not a street dude, so he doesn't do street 101. Okay, so let's just scrap that. Secondly, Dr. Simone, you calling a doctor, you're a doctor, you calling him a bitch. Now that is just, I don't even know what to say. I mean, you are a doctor, so I would assume that your vocabulary it should be better than that you could have found another word. But the fact of the matter is, her goofy husband is sitting right next to her while she calling another man a B. Now, what if he say, no, that's what you are? Then it would be a whole nother situation. So I feel like as doctors and as a show called Married to Medicine, I think they need to at least try to act professional. I get it. Everything ain't going to be professional all the time. But this show is giving baddies, it's giving love in hip hop medicine or something like that, because they just don't act right. So let's finish.
But is this because he's mad at Quad? Okay, so I called T to check and see how she was doing. Essentially, Killer Key West was not good for Greg.
I chose to end that marriage, and it's done.
You got a big mouth. I just said you talk too much.
So you.
And of course, we're looking at the snippet in which we saw what happened on that couple's trip. And amazingly, Toya says that Dr. G is mad when, again, I don't know if we are watching the same show, because what I saw is Dr. G just sitting there, not really saying anything until he actually needed to say something, because it seemed as if he didn't say nothing or anything, that it would have probably even went further. And we also saw King, who is, Quad's knight in shining armor. He sat there too, didn't say a word. So what I did is I arrived to the conclusion that this was a setup, because nobody intervened.
Said that to her?
I did.
I think you need to apologize to her for that.
Who you think you're talking to, bro? I'm thinking to it like that because I know how your girl is.
No, baby. Greg sees what happened very differently than what everybody else is recounting.
And, Dr. Contessa is obviously, she's in communication with Dr. G and Sweet Tea, which it appears that she's the only one in communication with the two. And what she's explaining is what Dr. G saw and what they saw is different. So essentially, Dr. G went to, file this report because in his eyes, he felt like he needed to file it.
That he was minding his own business for all intents and purposes. Unprompted, King attacked him and was going to beat him up.
Wait.
Yeah.
And as you can see, this is a joke. They're laughing. And I mean, if King wasn't going to lay hands on him, why did they need to intervene? So it's just like, I feel like, in this situation, does Dr. G have not a voice? Like, can he be heard? Why is everybody just jumping to the other side of somebody that you don't even know? And word on the street is that King do have some stuff on his record. So it's just like, why are we not talking about that? Like, why is we just going against this couple? And this is what I'm saying with regards to this show. This is what I don't like about it, because it's like, nobody wants to be an individual and be like, well, I feel like this. Like everybody is the same. And it's just like, y'all could not all be the same. This is kind of what they do. The bullying, it starts with the messy wives who supposed to be doctors, and it spills over to their bird brain husbands who don't have a backbone. Don't act like men because you're not even standing up saying anything.
So here's the thing. So if it looked like, someone was attacking someone, it would be pretty obvious. I just didn't see it like that.
Listen to Dr. Damon. He didn't see King running after Dr. G as attacking someone. Looks a little retaliatory to me, because is Dr. Damon just mad because when he asked Dr. G, was he a cheater? Dr. G was like, well, I don't know. This just seems crazy to me.
I think when you say something, then you just have to live with it.
You say something about somebody's wife.
When you say something about somebody's wife, now, does that even apply to this situation? Or maybe she's just giving an example of a married situation, because the only two married people would be Sweet Tea and Dr. G. So I don't understand where she's going with this.
In front of the man.
I did take King's side with this, and I stand by it.
He takes King's side and he stand by it, but he can't stand by all of the foolery that his cuckoo wife is doing online, in which she is being dragged for filth because she does not know how to conduct herself. So let's get this right. All of that is okay, right? It is okay for your wife to go on social media and call your friend allegedly a pedo and do all of these things that's never addressed, only for her to go and apologize to do the same damn thing again. This don't make sense. I don't like Dr. Damon. Like, I don't know him. I don't like him, because this is mess. You are a man. Stand up and act like a man and stop acting like a little PUSSY, Dr. Damon. You're acting like a BITCH, where Simone said that, Dr. G was, I think it's you.
Because I don't think he did anything wrong. I think any man, it's his duty to defend his wife, and I don't think I need to say it.
It's his duty to defend his wife? Is that just an example? Because I didn't think Quad and King were married. So what is he even talking about? The more Dr. Damon talks, the more I realize just how goofy and slow he really is.
I don't need to warn anyone. It's just an unwritten, understood movement that men make.
So, that, your girlfriend or your wife or whoever your significant other is, do they have to respect other people? Like, I'm so confused. Like, are we like conflating Dr. G's response and just overlooking how it got here? Like, did Quad not create this entire issue? Like, I'm confused. Like, I mean, are y'all confused? I'm just saying, like, Quad created it. I guess it was okay for her to say everything she said, and Dr. G was supposed to sit there with his tail tucked between his legs. I guess, is that what they saying? Well, it gets a little bit more interesting, because Quad, who actually started all of this mess, is still doing press referring to her husband, ex-husband, that she is so glad that she's not with, but for some reason his name don't taste like doo-doo in her mouth, because she keep talking about him.
Oh, now that's not for me to speak.
How long do you think Sweet Tea and Greg will be married for?
Oh, now that's not for me to speak on, although she did have a good time speaking on my man on her YouTube. And with that being said, I don't think long.
That's the sip and the spill.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
I mean, but here's the thing. They will fight. They will go so hard to try to prove everyone wrong, even if they hate each other. So they could be living under the roof, hating each other, and still staying together because they don't want to prove everyone right.
It's almost like they have too much pride.
Yes. Yeah. So they'll be led by pride. So with that being said, let me rephrase, retract that. They may stay together.
So what did y'all think about that? I mean, she was asked a question, but sometimes when you're asked a question, you may just have to do a bit of fibbing, lying, or just acting as if you don't know. Because I think that when she continues to talk about a man that she don't want, and she's so happy with King, and she wants to have a child with King, yeah, that's not what that's giving. It's really giving bitter, because here's my deal. When you break up with somebody, you don't want that person. You know the value of that person. You know what type of personality they have. And you just made a decision that you didn't want to be with them anymore. So the fact of the matter is, you moved on, but you're still talking about that person. It just don't give good vibes. So I don't know why, Quad continually speak on Dr. G. I mean, I would have said, I hope their marriage lasts forever. I don't know, you're asking the wrong person, but I have the best wishes for them. But it's like she goes dark every time when asked about Dr. G. But here's my deal. I just can't take her seriously for the simple fact that Dr. G is such a horrible person, as she states, but this was the same guy or man that she was calling when he was already with another woman asking for a prescription. So it is a clear indication that Dr. G is good enough to be used by her, but he is such a horrible person. Let her tell it. And we may not forget, or might not, or maybe y'all did forget. What about last season when she was trying to give him a hug and he was like, no, no, no. I keep all of that in my mind, like, dang, he's such a horrible person. But instead of trying to distance herself from him, it seems like she wants to be there to continually push his buttons, which to me signals who she was in a marriage. I feel like she definitely was the type of person that tried to get under his skin, because she's doing it right now. So I don't feel like in the marriage she was any better. But she continues to tell us how bad he is. But if you go back to that reunion, they both admitted it. So I think Quad forgets about that. But here's the deal. When you are a liar, you tell so many lies that you don't even remember what you said. So what I feel like is Quad has done So that's just my take on this situation. I kind of disappeared there for a moment, but I'm back. So y'all got to let me know like what y'all think with regards to this situation, with regards to the interview and all of that. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.